Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video we are going to be configuring three remote access VPN types. The first one is going to be the clientless SSL VPN. The other one is going to be a Anyconnect SSL VPN, and then we are going to configure a Anyconnect IPSEC VPN. So let's go ahead and start those configurations. So you have to launch the ISDN, and the way that we are going to verify that it is working is I have my Windows device right here. So the way that we are going to verify that it is working is that we are going to access this website right here behind this firewall. So we are going to connect to this firewall either via clientless or with Anyconnect, and then we are going to connect to this website. And let's see how fast I'm able to configure this. Um, so let's go ahead and go into configuration, and we are going to go into remote access VPN. The first one that we want to configure is going to be a let's see, we want to go into network client. Let's go and make this bigger so you guys can see. There we go. So we have the network. We're not going to do that. We want to do the clientless SSL VPN first. So let's go ahead and do that. The first thing that the first step that we need to do is that we want to configure the connection profile, which is the pre-login policy, and then we are going to do a group policy, which is the post login. So let's go ahead and create the connection profile for this. We are going to be calling this um, profile clientless. And for the alias, we're going to just do clientless over here. We are going to be using AAA local, so that's good. The default policy, we're not going to use the default uh, or this group policy. We're going to create a new policy for this one. Um, So we're not going to be using the default group policy. Let's go ahead and create our own policy, and this one is going to be called group clientless. There we go. We're going to put a banner right here. Welcome to clientless SSL VPN. Click OK. Um, Tunneling protocol. We also want to, let's see if that gives us the option. Welcome, more options. There we go. All we want to for this group is just to have access to client SSL VPN. Okay, so everything is good. Click OK, OK, OK. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, apply, and yes. I want to enable it, apply it. And do we give it an alias? I want to give it an alias or clientless, that's good. Yes, because I want to allow user to select connection profile on the login page. Let's go ahead and go into group policy. We already created that group. It's over here. So now what I want to do is I want to assign a new user. So we want to create a local user for that. And we want to call this clientless. Password is going to be Cisco. It doesn't need to have full access. So let's just say no SDM, SSL Telnet, or console access. I just want access to log in into the VPN. Apply it. So now let's go ahead and go into the group policy, and in the group policy, we're going to assign that user to this group policy. Click OK, apply it, and save it. Good, so now this should be, well, not yet. We want to do a post login policy. So we need to go into group policy. Let's go into clientless policy. Let's go into the portal, and we want to add some bookmarks. And we already have one. So if I go into manage and go into edit, yep, that's the correct website. So I want to reach this website. And if you want to add one, you can just go ahead and um, add a bookmark over here and then do the rest. So since I have one, I'm going to have that same one. Save it. So now let's go ahead into my Windows device, which is all the way up here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to see if I have connectivity. So let's go ahead and ping that ASA, and I'm able to pin that ASA. That means that I have connection. Let's go ahead and open um, Edge, and let's go to HTTPS 20.1.1.1. There we go. It said it's not secure. Let's go ahead and go into the web page anyways. So right now I have the group policies of the connection profile, say clientless or the default one. I want to have the clientless, and this one, the user was clientless and the password was Cisco. And there we go. Welcome to Clientless SSL VPN. Continue. And we have this website. So let's see and test to see if we have access to it. And it's going to give me access to this website right here. And there we go. And Networkers Toolkit, that's what the website is called. So that works. So we have one remote access VPN done. Now the next one that I want to do, it is not a clientless. The difference between the clientless or why would you choose a clientless is whenever a user does not have, if they're not a admin on their website or on their computer, if they're not an admin and they are unable to install Anyconnect, then you want to do this clientless SSL VPN, right? Because you can reach any internal website from the browser, and therefore a it doesn't need um, it doesn't need to install anything, right? And since they are unable to install an application like Anyconnect, then they can just use the browser via clientless SSL VPN. So now we are going to assume that the user is able to install Cisco Anyconnect, which I have it installed already. If I go to Anyconnect, I have it installed. So since now I'm going to configure a VPN connection for a user who is a admin in the computer and has Anyconnect installed. And there's two options that we're going to have. We're going to have the SSL Anyconnect option, and then we have the IPSEC Anyconnect option. So we're going to configure both. The first one is going to be the SSL VPN. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we are done with clientless, so we are not going to be configure clientless. We are going to configure the network client access. And for that, I'm going to use the Wizard VPN Anyconnect. Let's go ahead and click next. This connection profile is going to be SSL Any Anyconnect, and it's going to be to the outside. We are going to say SSL, click next. We are going to select the Anyconnect image, click next. The authentication method, we want to use another one for this one. It's going to be called SSL. Let's just call it SSL Anyconnect. Password is going to be Cisco. Cisco, that's fine. Add it over here. Go ahead and click next. Now we need to select an address pool. So whenever this Windows device connect, it's going to get an IP address from this pool. We are going to say SSL pool, and it's going to be 5.5.5.1 all the way to 5.5.5.6. Subnet mask /24. Let's go ahead and okay, let's go ahead and just say 6, because I already have a pool in 5.5.5.5. So let's go ahead and say 6. Okay, that I forgot to delete. So let's go ahead and say 6.6.6.6. Click on next. We're not going to configure any DNS server or domain name or anything like that. But if you have a DNS server, you can just go ahead and put it right here. I don't have one. Let's go ahead and say no. Net exempt. We are not are not using network translation on the ASA, so we don't have to exempt. If you were using or if you were doing network address translation, then you want to check this right here and tell it which one to do the net exempt. But since we don't have network address translation, we don't have to do that. And connect line, good. It gives you a summary. Let's go ahead and click finish. So now we want to verify that that is enabled. And as you can see right here, the um, SSL Anyconnect is enabled for the outside interface, so that's good. Let's go ahead and go into the client profile. We don't have anything. Software, good. So let's go ahead and go into the group policy, which is the post login. So after the login, so over here we want to actually assign, we want to do our own banner, which is going to be say welcome to SSL Anyconnect. More options. We just want to enable SSL VPN client. Okay. Servers, you don't want to do that. Advanced. Split tunneling, you can do split tunneling. You can do Anyconnect client over here as well, and IPSEC IPv1, but we don't want to do any of that. Let's go ahead and go apply it, save it. We did not add the user. Um, let's go ahead and click cancel. Let's go ahead and click on assign, and we want to assign the SSL Anyconnect user. Apply, save it. Now let's see if we are able to connect from our Windows device. So we want to open Anyconnect, and we want to connect to 20, that one, that one, that one. There we go. And this is via SSL um, connection. So the group for this one is not going to be clientless. If we do clientless, we won't be able to log in because clientless is only for um, for the web SSL VPN. So we want to do SSL Anyconnect, and the user was SSL Anyconnect. The password was Cisco. There we go. It tells you right now, welcome to SSL Anyconnect. Accept, and that's going to establish a um, connection. There we go, establishing. There we go. It has been connected to 20.1.1.1. So if you do now a CMD, and if you do a IP config, you're going to be able that we have now an IP address of 6.6.6.1, and that was the address that we configured over here. So that means that we are connected to the A ASA firewall. So now we should be able to go straight into this website at 172.16.1.2, 172.16.1.2, and there we go. So we have successfully configured SSL client VPN connection, and client being Anyconnect, and it was SSL. So now another one that we want to do, and it's going to be the last one, and for that one it's going to be, let's go ahead and just go ahead and disconnect. And if you disconnect, and if you go into the browser, and if you try to go to 172.16.1.2, you won't, it is still letting me on it. And we are disconnected. And let's go ahead and do a CMD, IP config. Now our IP address is 192.168.1.2, but it is loading me into this one. And that's because I believe I configured MPF before this video. And it is allowing me to go into this website because MPF is allowing that traffic to come in. So, and I believe I also configure a ACL. So let me go device firewall. Let's go ahead into ACL rule. Outside, it is allowing all the connections from the outside. Let's go ahead and apply this. Let's go ahead, if we are able to get to it. We're still able to get to it. So that's funny that it's doing that. 172. It's still allowing me that in here. Let's go ahead and save this. That's interesting. It's probably has to do because of the MPF, but that's fine. We can just verify by doing the IPv4 address. So the next one that we want to configure is the, if you go to Wizard, we're going to configure Anyconnect with IPsec. So let's go ahead and click next. Let's just go ahead and call this IPsec. It's going to be to the VPN access interface, going to be the outside. Go ahead and click next. We are going to unselect SSL. We only want IPsec. We're going to use the same for this one. This one is going to be called IPsec for the user. Cisco, and Cisco. Let's go ahead and add it. Next, the pools that we want to add, we name this, let's go ahead and name it IPSEC pool. Starting at 8.8.8.1, finishing, I think I put a space right here by accident. 8.8.8.8, subnet mask /24. Next, we don't want to do that, say no. NAT, the same thing that I talked about earlier. If you want to do web launch, you can also go ahead and do that. Finish and finish. So now let's verify that IPsec is enabled for that IPsec connection profile, and it is. Let's go ahead and go into client profile. We have a client IPsec profile right now. Let's go ahead and go to Anyconnect software. It is there. Group policy. Let's go ahead into this IPsec, and it is using IKE version 2. And the connection profile that it's using is IPsec, so that is good. Let's go ahead and assign a username, and we're going to assign username IPsec, apply it and save it. Let's see. And after we do that, we want to create a connection profile. And the way that you can create a connection profile is by having the VPN profile editor. You can go ahead into server list. Let's go ahead and add a new one. This one we're just going to call it IPsec Anyconnect. IP address 20.1.1.1. Okay. Let's go ahead and save it. We're going to save it as IPsec Anyconnect. IPsec Anyconnect. That's fine. We're just going to save it to the desktop. Save. So now it is right here on the desktop. So now we want to put it into this Anyconnect, into the Anyconnect application. We go to program data, Cisco, Cisco Anyconnect profile, and we are going to just drag it over here. Continue. Now let's go ahead and go into, we're not going to use, let's go ahead and just close this, quit it, and we are going to open it again. And now we have the IPsec Anyconnect option that we put in here, that profile that we created, and that's going to connect to my to this ASA using IPsec and IKE version 2. And we are not going to select this because if we select that, it won't let us connect to it. So if we say, well, it is going to let us connect to it because that's the one that is supposed to be in here. But if we connect to the IPsec one and we say Cisco, it did let me in with that profile. And let's go ahead and go into this IPsec, and we don't want to inherit that. So what we want to do when it comes back, it froze. Let's go ahead and put right here, welcome to IPsec. We don't want to inherit. We just want to have IPsec IPv2. Let's just go ahead and say no. Advanced. You can do split tunneling, browsing proxy, Anyconnect client, and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and apply it. So let's go ahead and do a CMD IP config, and we have that 8.8.8.1. That's good. I just want to disconnect, and we want to connect to that one. Also, let me go ahead and go into group policy, advanced options. There's the default cancel, IPsec. And we want to lock it to only, so let's go ahead and say just lock it and only allow IPsec to connect to it. Apply it and save it. Let's go ahead and connect anyway. Let's just use the IPSEC user and the Cisco password. And it's saying that this user is not allowed. And we're using IPSEC. IPSEC, let's go ahead and go into that user, local users, IPSEC VPN. It is using the IPSEC policy. I don't want to inherit. I want to have IPSEC. Apply it and save it. Let's go ahead and try it again. Cisco, it is still not allowing me to connect to that IPSEC. Let's go ahead and make that connection one more time. Let's go ahead and go to monitoring. Okay, let's go into my Windows device. IPSEC, IPSEC, Cisco. That is not letting me on. Go ahead into configuration, IPSEC, and it is with IPSEC policy. Let's go ahead and check this one too. Maybe it's using IC version 1. Let's go ahead and do this one as well. Save it. Cisco. Cancel. Connect to it again. Group policy, IPSEC. Connect anyway. IPSEC user, Cisco. And it's not letting me connect to it. Interesting enough. What if we use SSL Anyconnect user, Cisco? So it is letting me connect using the SSL user for some reason. So this is being inherit. Everything is being inherit. SSL VPN client. Okay, well, it is letting me on with the SSL client or user. So let's go ahead and see the SSL Anyconnect, full access, VPN, SSL, the tunneling. It is inheriting the tunnels and all that good stuff. Well, for some reason, it's not letting me on that with that IPsec user that we created, but it is letting me with the um, it is not letting me with the IPsec, but it is letting me with the SSL Anyconnect. But so for this video, we are just going to leave it like that for now because I don't have a lot of time to troubleshoot what the issue is. But this is it for this video, guys. I just wanted to show you guys how to configure 3 types of remote access VPN. So I was able to do that. We configure SSL Clientless VPN, and we configure that whenever somebody doesn't have admin access to install the Anyconnect application on their computer. So we can do SSL VPN. But if anybody, SSL VPN clientless, but if anybody has admin access to the computer and they are able to install Anyconnect client, we can do SSL Anyconnect or IPsec Anyconnect. So this is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Also like this video, share this video, and why don't you just also, if you have a Twitter account, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips. If you have a Twitter account, and if you do not have a Twitter account, go ahead and create a Twitter account and then follow me on Twitter. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I love you guys. Bye bye.